Mateska is able to go off the block and out. That's Simona Mateska from Belgrade, Serbia, the freshman.
Yeah, a great swing by Mateska. This is a very sophisticated swing, going high and off the edge of that block. There's really no play for a defense on that.
It's a nice little side spinning serve from Markley, the Penn State transfer, and Oregon in the net early on.
This is the first swing we've seen by Alana Clemente, and you know, super physical, high contact point, but it's going to come with some errors. And as the Oregon coach said to us earlier, that's okay.
I want to hear as much commentary about the high-octane lefty opposite from you as possible in this one, as we just saw Washington head coach Leslie Gabriel in her third year with the program, former middle blocker for the Huskies, longtime assistant coach. There she is again, Leslie Gabriel, her maiden name Tuiasa Sopo, the famous football-playing family in University of Washington lore. Mateska once again. Going to be a free ball here for the Dogs. Behind the center, Julia Hunt. Nice job turning that down the line by the Loyola Marymount transfer, Sophia Myers, who followed her head coach, Trent Kirsten, from Loyola.
What a beautiful swing. I mean, you see that right back defender for Washington kind of sucked in, and that corner is just going to be open 99% of the time.
Some right back defense from Taylor for Oregon. A joust, a save by Mateska, and a free ball for the Ducks. There was contact there, was the ruling on the middle swing from Eva Shucharovic, another Serbian player. There are three of them in this matchup.
Yes, great swing by Shucharovic. I love that Oregon's getting their middles involved early. That really is like the secret sauce to having a wide open offense as the game goes on.
Shucharovic over 400 on the season. On the pipe, it's Vallette. Oregon adding a wrinkle to their offense early on under Trent Kirsten, who also, like his counterpart, was a middle blocker in college. For him, he played as a walk-on at UCLA and became a really valuable player for that program after, again, coming in originally as a walk-on. Markley goes for the tip. Taylor feeds Clemente, gets to take a big cut. It was dug by Barton, saved by Hurd. Get the setter out of this play. So it's Shepard to Clemente. Good out-of-system set. The block was ready. Vallette looks to end it, and she does again behind the attack line.
Great swing by Vallette here. One thing I'm already noticing with this Washington team is some really quality out-of-system sets from their libero. They're non-setters that are putting up high hittable balls, so their attackers can just really go in with speed and hit with pace. I love that.
And an ace serve, the first for Oregon after they had none. They were out ace 10-0 by USC. And the Ducks off to a 7-2 start, storming out of the gate at home against the Washington Huskies in this rivalry battle. To go from the West Coast Conference, though, to the Big Ten. And Barton is feeling it in the early going on the outside.
That's just an excellent swing down the line for Barton. And when you have a bit of a shorter setter like Cora Taylor, 5'9", you're kind of, as a defender, you're like, do I go up in case they tip over her? You try to go deep. So I love that swing from Washington outside hitter.
And Barton contributes on the block. Already a 3-for-4 start as a hitter. And then add a block on the stat sheet for Barton. 8 of the last 11 points won by the Dogs. They tied the first set at 10. And now they take the lead on Howery's ace, the setter, with her 10th of the season.
It's a good serve, targeting Valentina Vallette, who was an opposite up until just recently. So getting in that serve receive pattern, talk about a big adjustment.
That's
nice
a better pass right there, yes, absolutely. And Clemente uses the top of the tape to help stymie the defense.
And AJ, I know that one hit some tape, but as an opposite, you know, that is, these back row D balls are some of my favorite to watch. Just big runway, can take big steps into the ball, and man, without the help of that tape, those can be lethal.
You said before, a little more space back there on that back row swing.
Space and vision. I think vision's a big thing. You just have such a better view of where your opponents are at, and can really put pace where you want it to go.
Markley using the block. Washington by 1. There's Clemente once again behind the line. Hurd sticks out the arm. Pancake attempt. Washington doing everything they could. But another kill for the freshman from Santa Clarita, California, Alana Clemente, who has a 4-match streak going of double-figure kills, her longest streak of the season.
And we talked about just a huge piece of this Oregon offense and such a capable player at just, I think, 17 years old. It'll be fun to see how she develops over these next few years in a big conference.
Talk about upside when you are producing in the Big Ten like Clemente is, and she's still just 17.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Kirsten talked about it. Youth on this team, 8 freshmen alone, and you hear that age, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, trial by fire in America's toughest volleyball conference.
Float serve, difficult one to handle for Mateska. And Oregon has an opportunity to score a point on its serve. Right in the middle for McFadden, going up against her hometown team, the Bainbridge Island, Washington native.
We love when we get the middles involved. One thing Coach Gabriel talked about with Washington is encouraging Mateska to be a little more aggressive, and that's a tough ball to hit, but that's one I think maybe she's talking about. Can we get a swing out of that instead of sending Oregon a free ball?
Better pass by Zoria Hurd, Washington's libero, who steps into the shoes of Lauren Bays after Bays' graduation. That leads to a point, and Hurd has been maybe the leader, you could argue, for Washington this year. Certainly that's what Leslie Gabriel says, their head coach.
Yeah, one of 3 captains. Coach Gabriel said she's just not afraid to say things, lead by example. It's her senior year, she wants to go out with a bang, and I respect that.
Said from the moment she came back on campus entering the season, she's had that determination every single day in training.
Right, and it shows. Second in the conference in digs with over 200, and we're not even a month into this Big Ten season. That's impressive.
That was a nice swing by the lefty Clemente on the left side of the court, and that's a jump serve from Valette that you're going to have a little higher error rate with when you have jump servers.
Exactly. Coach Kirsten was talking about how with his jump servers, he wants them to be aiming for 54+ miles an hour. And whenever you're aiming for a speed like that, you're going to miss some, and you're just hoping you're missing them long, just like that.
We've seen aces going both ways, serve, receive. Whoever figures out how to get the ball control going is going to have a fast track to win this match. All right, he did mention that, 54 miles an hour. I got to ask you, how do you train to hit 54 miles an hour with your serve?
That's a great question. I was never a top spin server. I guess I was for a brief moment at Purdue. I don't think we were aiming for 54 miles an hour. I think one thing he mentioned is with Alana Clemente and Valentina Valette, he has to just give them a longer leash, and the servers before and after them, the rest of the Ducks team has to be a little more tactical. So I think you don't train it other than just go let it rip.
That's a block by Clemente and Shuchurovich.
And you just can't draw that up if you tried, right? Like, as a hitter, I've been there, we've all been there. Tight set, little bit of a trap set, and it just comes off the head. What can you do?
Right, because that was going out.
Yeah.
But fortunately goes off the Washington player for them. Overpass, Clemente puts it down. Oregon reclaiming control, up by 3 in the first set.
Quick on the feet there by Alana Clemente. I appreciate just her quickness in IDing that and sending it right back over, not letting them get a chance to get back in formation.
Oregon with its 3rd team block of the set, and now a 4-0 score and run, forcing Washington to use its final timeout of the set. We'll set the side quick.
As a player, if you don't know, they don't know, and I think that's a perfect example.
Barton high Nice swing over the top and down to the floor. Well, Washington within 4 here. Oregon 3 points away from the first set.
And that's just a sophisticated swing by Kirsten Barton. I mean, she's on a smaller blocker. Whenever the setter's front row, it's usually a smaller blocker, but she's still hitting deep, resisting the urge to pull that down.
Barton couldn't put away that overpass. Vallette with the hitting error. Oregon not quite out of the woods yet, even though they're out hitting Washington 370 to 125 in the opening set. Huskies are actually still in this.
Yeah. We talk about a game of runs, right? We're seeing it play out even late in the game here.
Roll shot, Howery has to play it. So then it's Hurd using the hands. Good back set for Barton. Oregon scrambles and keeps the point going. And that's swatted down by Katie Wessels. Washington back within 2. This has been a fun first set, back and forth.
One thing Leslie Gabriel said earlier this week was kind of exposing her team to things like that throw from the middle in prep for Nebraska a couple nights ago. And we're seeing them play it out.
Hey, they worked on it in practice. Vallette on the reload in the middle. Shucherovich. Mateska with the dig. Markley goes for the tip. Vallette out of system. Taylor thinking about it. Behind the line, Clemente is blocked. Washington putting up a wall during this point. Zoria Hurd lays out. Nice block touch against Barton. Here's Vallette on the longest point of the night so far with a big swing and her 4th kill.
I love all of the coverage we saw here from the Oregon Ducks this rally, and also want to highlight just the defense by Zoria Hurd and Washington, leading the conference in digs and had a real nice one down the line early in that point.
Katie Wessels keeping Washington's hopes alive.
And Wessels has been a little quiet so far tonight, but has had a really good season for the Huskies. Top 5 blocker in the Big Ten. About 70 kills now, hitting .240 on the season.
And there's Markley for you.
Markley, a little bit quiet tonight, but has been so efficient. And again, with that deep swing there, I always commend when opposites can really try to challenge that right back corner, because if you can take the opponent opposite out, it just simplifies your blocking defense so much more.
That's a laser by Alana Clemente to give Oregon set point.
Just a beautiful swing down the line. I do think she likes to go a little more line from the back row, it seems. But hey, if they're giving it to you, by all means take it.
She has so far 5 kills on 10 swings, hitting .300 with a couple of errors. Crowd on its feet on set point. Wessel says hold on a second. Washington within 1. It's deuce. Washington with the block. 24 all in the first set.
Talk about a game of runs, right? It's anybody's ball game at this point. It is win by 2. Either team has a chance.
Ace of the set.
This was a big focus for the Huskies today. They had to serve tough, and we are seeing it play out in real time.
Must have side out now. One-handed dig by Hurd. Good ball control by the Ducks. Clemente from the left side. Block touch gives Howery a chance to set. Who is roofed by Clemente.
Wow. What an incredible block by Alana Clemente on the left. I love this press back into the court. I mean, even if you have full coverage on the Washington side, that ball's not coming up.
That's her 3rd block of the set.
That is obnoxiously high. 3 in a set is really, really impressive.
Off the top, Markley with the response, and a set point for Washington again.
I think we're seeing some big points by Oregon, and we're seeing Washington just do slow and steady, do what they know how to do. It's kind of a nice contrast.
They staved off a couple of Oregon set points. Now Washington's second opportunity. Right toward the middle, look out! It went toward the campfire. Oregon was trying to keep it out and could not. Washington wins the first set, 27-25.
Yeah, you saw some tips late in the game there, and it's always risky to tip that late, right? You think it toward the end of the game, but it works. It gets people, it creates traffic, and I think, just really well played by Washington.
That was a set that, I don't want to say Washington stole it, but they were trailing most of the way, especially early. And the Huskies take the first set after the comeback, 27-25.
And that was, I hate to say it, 10 years ago, but definitely in their MO.
And Coach Gabriel would have been an assistant coach at that time, helping.
Probably running that walking speed.
Absolutely, that's what she was doing. She's been doing it for a long time. Alexa Markley as Washington getting that late surge to try and go up 2-0.
Love that big swing by Alexa Markley. One thing Coach Gabriel said is earlier this season, I think, as Alexa Markley was playing opposite and getting her, more involved on the floor, am I right in saying this is her first year kind of playing the full match, right?
That's right.
And so that's a different type of endurance as well.
Here's Wessels has the hot hand. Absolutely great transition moment. The pickup by Myers and the finish from Clemente.
I love that. On two, right? This play comes up and she just step closes and sends it. This is a good, if you don't know, they don't know. And we're seeing that here. I mean, how do you even react? It just happens so fast.
Oh, huge serve by Clemente. That one wound up in the 5th row.
And Clemente's did some really nice things, opening up sets and after timeouts, right? In set 1, I think we saw her get a big stuff block right after a timeout. Here she is with an unexpected, unassuming kill and an ace.
So, back row setter. Call goes against Washington. Oregon within 1.
They're always a little murky, AJ. It's kind of that, she's back row. She can't be in the plane, but what does being in the plane mean? I think that was the right call, but again, those are tough ones to lose.
Mateska able to throw it down, and the Huskies, they're holding on for dear life, 23-21.
She throws that right in that no man's land. It's deep. It's past that 10-foot line or 3-meter line, and Mateska's had some high hand swings already this game, so as a defender you're thinking kind of maybe I gotta stay deeper, hoping for a deflection, and then she does that and you're thinking, okay, back to the drawing board.
If it gets any closer, keep in mind Washington used that early timeout, so they have none left, but that's exactly what they needed again. Zoria Hurd dials up the Huskies' 6th ace, and Oregon has to use their second timeout. 24 set point. Kavachuk's with the swing, kept up by Shuchirovich. Howery to Hunt, just got a piece of it on the paintbrush. Mateska tipping, it hit the antenna.
I like what she's trying to do there, but it's tough. That's a little wide. You don't want to tip this late in the game. But Washington's had a nice cushion so far.
Great saves there by Myers and Shuchirovich. Oregon into the net to end the set. That's a backbreaker. And a tough way to go down if you're the Ducks.
Yeah, this just, unfortunately, this is part of it when you have a younger team a little bit. And not just a younger team, but a team that is new with each other, right? It's not like this group has played together for years and years. So it's unfortunately going to happen. You hate to see it on game point.
It got close at the end, but Washington hit a 4-0 run.
You can just hear you say road sweep. I mean, it felt like a longer match than that.
Against Kentucky on the road, a top-ranked team. Washington entering today was 1-10 in their last 11 sets when both teams reached 20. They've been struggling in close sets. They have a chance to win 3 straight sets when both teams have reached 20 and completely reverse that trend, but Oregon says not so fast. McFadden and Vallette getting the Ducks back within 1.
I have been very impressed with Oregon's blocking. Both teams right now have a similar number of blocks. This is showing around 12, maybe now 13, but it seems like Oregon's getting these blocks at really crucial times.
Maybe some thoughts about the block creeping into the hitters' minds a little bit. And Julia Hunt tried to pop that one over the block, missed it, and now tied at 23.
That set might have gotten a little wide, and once it gets wide, it's just really hard to bring it back in at a speed that it's coming at.
But swatted down by Simona Mateska. She looks wiser than her years out there today. It's just a freshman. Her 11th kill, and Washington has a match point.
Mateska back on match point too, leading the team in aces and errors. But honestly, it's a good time to have a good server back there. Your best server.
A side out that Shucharovich had to have for the Ducks. It's deuce once again, the second time we've seen a deuce set.
And Oregon's passing has been a little inconsistent this game, honestly this season, but this is a good example. When they need it, it turned on.
Now how does Washington pass against Vallette? One you can handle, and Mateska did. Here's Barton. Oh, off the first touch. Sophia Myers, the 6th-year graduate student, gives Oregon a set point. Timeout, Washington.
This is like happening so.
Set point number 1. Barton over the top, and it's deuce again at 25.
And this is something you see Kirsten Barton doing often when she's lined up on the setter, who's obviously smaller than Alana Clemente or Valentina Vallette, who's now playing opposite late in this match. This is a good swing, finding ways to turn it down the line and expose the hands that are probably not as present.
12 kills, 360 for Barton. That was going to come down and in on the dig by Hunt. Wessels the solo block, and the Huskies have another match point. Nobody has any timeouts left. Oregon forced to play this out. Good serve by Hunt. Solid pass on the Oregon side. Clemente playing left side of this rotation. Gets it done. Alana Clemente, they've been moving her around in the lineup a little bit today, but Clemente does lead the Ducks in kills with 12.
I think when it's on the line, you find Alana Clemente. I know she's 17, she's inexperienced, she's played a lot of roles tonight, but man, when it matters, she's doing some really nice things, not just offensively, blocking, serving, hitting from the left and the right, hitting from the back row.
Sophia Myers has over 150 career aces. Handled by Barton. Wessels covers for herself. Barton is blocked. And Washington can't save it. Oregon picks up another set point. What a third set this has been.
You know, AJ, I talked about errors seeming like they're worth double after 20. I would say the same about blocks. When you get a block after 20, it just, the energy it gives to your team, the confidence it instills, it's like nothing, no other comparable thing.
Clemente, puck from the net. A little bit of a difficult situation late in this set, and Clemente couldn't keep it in play. Well off the net there.
That's kind of a, I would say, relatively rare mishap with Oregon. They're usually pretty good at putting those out-of-system sets really close to the net. For Alana Clemente, that one was a little far off. Didn't give her the vision to swing through.
Tips it down, and Oregon back in front, 28-27.
Well played, well placed. As someone who has been tall and physical.
They gave that point to the Huskies.
Oh.
Oregon is challenging that the ball hit the ground before the blocker was in the net.
Hits the net in order for it to be an Oregon point.
So it's match point number 3. A little tight on the set. That's going to do it. Washington goes on the road and sweeps Oregon in Eugene, winning twice at Deuce, and 29-27 in the final set.
What a roller coaster of events in just the last, bulk of that third set. Some untimely errors, but, we really got to see what Oregon was capable of down the stretch with some really aggressive swings, passing when it mattered the most, getting them in system, or at least able to take a swing, and some nice blocking as well. But Washington just slow and steady.
This is one of those 3-set matches that was a lot closer than the final result will look. Yes, Washington won 3-0, but it was close the entire way. We'll step aside and come back with a winning team. On the road to their rival Oregon and win in 3, including 2 different set wins at Deuce. What an impressive performance from the Washington Huskies, and Kirsten Barton, junior outside hitter, leading the way with 12 kills, hitting .296, along with 9 digs and 2 blocks. And Kirsten joining us right now on the broadcast. Thanks so much for joining us, Kirsten. Tell me kind of what went into the mindset, especially late in that final set. You're trying to hang on and close Oregon out. The set's going really deep into Deuce. What were those conversations with your group as a team?
I think we were just like, we know the game plan. Like, we've been here multiple times in preseason, so we're just like, we don't want to feel the feeling of losing. So we were like, we need to push and fight for one another and just do what we know we can do.
Yeah, Kirsten, just looking at being a team in the Big Ten, you played in Lincoln, Nebraska on Friday. Fly, I assume, straight here for a 1 p.m. match today against your Pacific Northwest rival. What are those conversations like in the locker room, on the bus, with your coaches to have a turnaround like that?
Yeah, I think we knew that Oregon was going to be a different team this year, and we were like, we want to beat the Ducks because obviously they're our rivals. So I think we just were talking about hey, we need to fight for one another. We just lost an away game, so getting another away win is really crucial for us, and we just wanted to play for each other and fight for one another.
About your next, I would say, 6 matches or so are all against NCAA tournament contenders, or even considered better than that. Beyond that, some really difficult matches coming up soon on the schedule. What's the mindset now over the next, 2-3 weeks?
Just continuing to get better every single day, being really mindful and intentional with every rep with the next couple of weeks in practice, because we know that we are the underdogs, but underdogs can win still, and we can come out on top as long as we do what we know we can do and just follow the game plan.
I like that, underdogs with the WG in this case. Kirsten, thanks so much for the time. Congrats on the great performance of the win.
All right, thank you so much.
Kirsten Barton with 12 kills, a great all-around performance, and today this was a fun one, a great broadcast analyst debut for the gold medalist Annie Drews. Our entire crew, AJ Cannell, saying so long from Eugene, Oregon, where the Washington Huskies in this rivalry matchup pull off the 3-0 sweep. It was close and exciting the entire way. Thanks so much for joining us. Put those lamps away.